The best prize pick and underdog picks for Wednesday, May 22nd. Guys, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. It's Billy C, and we're going to be going through some different prize pick and underdog plays and some slips that we're just going to put together right now so you guys can tail for yourself. So as you can see, guys, over here on prize picks, over the course of my career here, I've done quite well, making over $17,000. I've done very well on underdog fantasy. So I'm going to go through some of the various tools that I like to use, and we're going to put some slips together and we're going to make some cash. It's as simple as that. Let's get after it. So guys, link in the description will be a free trial to all the different tools that I use, one being OddsJam and their daily fantasy optimizer. Also, after the free trial ends, if you use my code Billy35, it'll save you 35% off your first month. But you need to understand that when we're building these slips, depending on what type of slip we're building, we need to understand that there's different odds attached. So if we're running a two-man non-insured and underdog, we're getting minus 136 odds per leg. And if we're running a five-man insured, we're getting minus 120 odds. So that's a really big deal. So we want to make sure that the individual legs that we're picking have better odds than what we know the implied odds are. I normally only run an underdog fantasy, a three-man non-insured, and then a five-man insured. Every now and then, if I'm feeling frisky and a little risky, I'll do a five-man non-insured. So right here over at OddsJam, it's pretty simple. I mean, the plays in green, we know that we're getting excellent value for. You can see right here, their odds is telling us various different odds for these plays, and we want to make sure that we add this. So we'll go over to Underdog right now, and we'll look at Scooble for his fantasy score. And you can see, I mean, we're getting under 38.5, and a lot of the sports books have this. DraftKings has this at 34. Caesars has this at 33.5. Minus 143, minus 146. We know on Underdog, if we're putting together a three-man non-short slip, we're getting minus 122 odds for this. So we want to add picks like this all day long. That's what we want. It's really simple. For me, guys, I'm a data-driven sports bettor. So I don't do a ton of research into, well, how's Scooble in his matchups. I'm just looking at if the market is efficient, all these sports books are really sharp, and we can find value with one particular book that's priced way different than the rest of the market, then I want to jump on that play. And that's what we're doing right here with this Scooble play. So then we're going to then throw in, I just like to go down the line and grab the next two players. Now, as you can see, all three of this guy has the same, we have two options for the same player. And then normally with Underdog, we can't combine this hate player as well because it's the same matchup. It's correlated. They don't like that type of slip. So we're going to go with, I just go with the top one right here, and then we're going to go down here and also grab S, maybe Rec. Rec would be the next one. And we're going to grow on his over 27.5. And this is really just how I like to build my slips when I'm using OddsJam, as I'll come down here, and we're going on his over 27.5 for the first two map kills. Make sure I get that right. And then we're also going to go with my man, FLOM, Flom, and we're going to take his over 23 map kills. And I also like this sometimes, guys, because we're getting a level of insurance with an odd, with a round number with no hook attached to it. So I really like that. But this is going to be our first slip for the day. And I always double check to make sure we're taking the over. We're taking the over there. Beautiful. I'm not getting too frisky here. Obviously, we're taking the standard payout right here. And then I'm just going to put $10 on it, guys. No unit shaming. Boom. There we go. We lock in this first play for 10 bucks. And so that's one tool that I love to use right there is OddsJam for Underdog. For prize picks, guys, out here in the state of Arizona, they've recently changed the rules in terms of I can no longer create 5- and 6-man slips, but it's important to understand that's the most optimal slips you want to make for odds, minus 119. So then, guys, another tool that I love to use is A-Train Station. They've recently partnered with OddsJam, and they've collabed on their data feed. So basically everything that feeds into OddsJam, A-Train Station now receives. I love this. I'll just go over here. I'll type in Underdog. And we have three plays right here. We have all for the PGA Charles Schwab round one. Guys, I know this is as of Wednesday, but there's value to be had in the market right now for tomorrow's first round. You want to scoop up that value every single time. You don't want to wait until tomorrow to build the slip. These odds won't be here anymore. So we're going to go with McCarthy, Straka, and Minwoo Lee all on their strokes. It's all going to be an unders pick. That's fine for me. You can tell that we're getting minus 122 odds in a three-man slip. And all these are roughly minus 131, minus 130, minus 129. If we just click into Denny McCarthy right here, you can come down to this. We look at his under 69.5, and you can kind of see that, FanDuel has this at minus 150. DraftKings has this at minus 160. So we're getting much better odds compared to two books. And then obviously, you have your parlay play and prize picks. We know what we're getting with those implied odds. But this is something that you want to hop on right now, especially when we have two different reference points saying if you just went over to FanDuel and bet is under 69.5, you get this at minus 150. We put this in an underdog slip, we're going to get this at minus 122. So here we are, Straka, McCarthy, Minwoo Lee, all to go under right here. Again, 3-pick, non-insured slip, and we're going to go ahead and put $10 on this, lock this baby in right now. There we go. It's as simple as that. This is another way that I love to use the tools with A-Train Station. Now, guys, recently I just signed up for a 1-week free trial with Outlier to give them a shot. A little different maybe than OddsJam and A-Train Station. They have basically their own implied probability right here that's going to say, what we think the chances are this hits. Remember, when we're talking about 55%, if I come over here to a betting calculator and I type in 55% right here, that gives us minus 122.22 odds. So we could put these in a 3-pick slip, right? We're just getting a slight edge. And if we wanted to, we could also put this in a 5-pick insured slip. So over at Underdog, I'm going to make a 5-pick insured slip right now using the picks over at Outlier. Now, if you want to jump into the weeds when we're looking like Adam Duvall under, 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, when we click into this, you can obviously see if we wanted to go in his last 10, here's what his numbers look like, and it's only hitting 3 of his last 10 games. If we're looking at his last 20 games, some of the percentages we have, and then the head-to-head matchups for the hits, runs, RBIs. Outlier does a really nice job. I really like this. So if you're someone that maybe likes to look more based on matchups, then Outlier would be the tool for you. So we're going to go ahead and add Duvall here first. But this is just something that I'm really interested in trying with Outlier. Really excited about, because I think it could just be another tool that I can add to my tool bag. I have no affiliation with these guys at all, but I really think it's a solid tool, and it's something that I'm definitely willing trying out this summer with baseball season, especially, guys, because we're hitting the calendar right now where there's not going to be a lot going on other than maybe MLB, WNBA. So this is going to be kind of a nice opportunity to try some different things out, and Outlier is going to be one that I'm going to be trying out. So it looks like Luke Raley's not available right now for this. So we'll go with, let's go with Devers. Sometimes I don't know if they'll let me stick with the same fantasy score, guys. With players on multiple teams, we'll try it. So I'll go with Ozzie, and I'll go with Devers as well. I know Rafael, he's just been on an absolute tear right now. So you want to make sure you get someone like him who's just been killing it as of late. So we're going on his hits, runs, RBIs. We'll go with Ozzie, under on his fantasy score. We'll put together this 5-pick slip right here. Let's go with Rengifo and then also Riley Adams. So Rengifo over on his hits, runs, RBIs, and then Adams under on his hits, runs, RBIs. And this is really just as simple as it gets, guys. You're just kind of looking at, what is, we want to take his over. What's out there right now in the market. If you wanted to dive a little bit deeper in the weeds, this is another way you can. So, OddsJam goes strictly based off data, whereas Outlier is looking more at some of the matchups and maybe the most recent 10, 20 games. And, it's basically a couple. So kind of whatever you really prefer, choose your own adventure is kind of how you can go about this. But we're going to put with this 5-pick slip, we're definitely going to make sure that we take the flex, so we have a level of insurance here. And then again, I'm just going to put $10 down, and we're going to lock this in right now. So now let's go over and see if we can put together a PrizePicks slip. If I go back over to OddsJam, let me see if I can refresh real quick to see if I can find anything. For 5-pick slips, this is fantastic. I would take the top guys right here and build a slip like this. But because I'm limited to 4-pick slips, my odds for each pick, as we know, guys, are going to be minus 128. And when the odds implied right now are minus 125, I'm not going to build a slip just for the sake of building a slip. I'm going to wait until the market tells me there's value to be had, and then that's when I will pounce. So, guys, that's the video for today. Unfortunately, wasn't able to snag any prize pick plays just because at the time the market deemed that there wasn't a lot going on. And again, I'm not going to force the issue. If there isn't value in the market, then I'm not going to make a slip. But over at Underdog, there is quite a bit of value right now, and I'm going to put together a few more slips. Guys, this is what I love to do day in and day out, build a few slips. And because they have a lower chance of hitting, right, we're putting together 3 or 5 pick slips. I'm not unloading the bankroll on these plays. But I love to do a little sprinkle, and I love using Outlier, OddsJam, and A-Train Station. Highly recommend, guys. LinkedIn is going to be in the description. If you want to give a try to any of these platforms, highly recommend you do. But until next time, guys, I'll catch you tomorrow for another video.